Hello YouTube, this is Bowtied Media, and today I have another installment of This Friday in EDM, where we talk about new releases that came out either today, Friday, or this past week in EDM. So we got a ton of songs, and a lot of them are remixes, so let's get into it. Starting at the bottom of the list and getting our way to the very, very top, so the end of the video will have the best song, and this is going to be the worst song. Starting with the Don't Bother category, songs I think just don't even bother with, they're just trash. We start with Alcohol by Ookay, and this thing is just hot garbage. This is, I think, the lowest rating I've given any song in the past month, and it's just, it's so bad. The vocals are so strange, and they're off-putting, and they're mixed horribly, and they don't sound great within the whole grand scheme of the song, and everything about it is just, this whole song is just not good at all. So much so that I actually had to double check on Spotify that it was actually Ookay producing the song, that it wasn't just some random person with the same producer name that just put out a random track. I just think this is bad. Up next is The Difference John Hopkins remix, originally by Flume and Toro Moi. And this song is just a slower, very weaker version of the original. John Hopkins kind of does a little more of an, I guess, a little bit more acoustic-y, but then also tries to add his more experimental tones with it that is very similar to what Flume is, but I feel like it's just a far cry from what the song originally was. I mean, it's a remix, but also the quality of it. The song literally sounds like the original beat of The Difference was taken and overlaid on top of it was music from the Wii, like Nintendo Wii sports like games or channel or something like that. It sounds so weird, and at the beginning, first half of the song, it's very empty, and it just, all I hear is Wii music, and I don't know why, I just don't like it. Up next is Buckwild by Fabian Mazur, and this song has all the elements to be a really nice hype track, but it kind of just falls flat in every capacity. The drops feel really empty, and there's just not a lot going on. This is definitely not my style of music, and I find it hard to believe that a lot of other people really enjoy this. Up next, and the first song of our neutral category, is Pow 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 by Kaskade and Chemical Surf. And this song goes really, really deep. I did not expect this from Kaskade at all. It came out of nowhere, and even the vocals are crazy deep to the sense where I had my headphones on, and it sneaks up on you and almost like attacks you at some point, and it feels different than what you would actually normally hear from the vocals of a song. It sounds a lot more crisp and cleaner, and it almost sounds like it's really there. And the production of the song is subpar, but I cannot get over the fact that this song is not saying pow pow pow, it's saying poo poo poo. I can't get over it. I don't know if I'm a child or something, but it's not pow, he's saying poo, and it just makes me laugh in the middle of this deep song, and it's just bad. It's just bad. Up next is Hurt by NERVO, featuring Frida Sundemo, and this is pretty much your cut and paste progressive house track. There's not much to it, it's pretty mundane. If you like that kind of generic progressive house, you're gonna like this, and or NERVO, and it's just there. Up next is Burning by Nicky Romero featuring Jordan Grace, and this is similar to the last track. It's a big room house this time. Not much going on for it in terms of specialty within the big room house genre, but I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty okay. The vocalist is really good, but if you like big room house, this is your song. A pros from progressive house, which was NERVO's. Up next is Pray for Money by Virus Syndicate and Barely Alive. And this song is dark and meaty and disgusting. It sounds like it just sounds disgusting in a good way, like they're intentionally going for it. It almost sounds like like an old school UK grime-ish feel. Barely Alive's rhythm production is pretty good on this track, and paired with Virus Syndicate's vocals, even though I don't personally like them, it does fit the atmosphere of the song quite well. Up next we have Midnight Jack Wynn's remix by Alesso and Payne. And this song, just like the other two, apart from the last one, this is your run-of-the-mill kind of, although it's like a fusion of commercial house and deep house, but in terms of just the house genre in general, it's pretty regular. It's a pretty normal track. This is pretty much just a club mix or deep house mix for a popular song by Alesso and Payne, just to be played at like school dances or clubs or a yacht party or something like that. Up next we have You Do You, Sofi Tukker remix by Dillon Francis and BabyJake. And this song is really short, and if you've seen a few of my videos or any of my videos, you know that I really don't like short songs, and it's just 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and it's just, I mean, in terms of what they put into that small amount of time, there isn't a whole ton of content, and I feel like this really could have been expanded upon. And even though the track is here and it's above other songs for saying are average, it's a pretty okay song. I enjoy it. I like the deep house, almost jungle atmosphere that Sofi Tukker produces, but I just felt like it could have had a lot more to it. Up next, we've got Live Forever by Project 46, and even though they haven't, I think, publicly announced an album yet, I looked through all their tweets and media posts and didn't see anything specifically, but we assume by the album art that this is going to be a new album, and I would say this is the best of the singles that have come out so far. This is, again, pretty normal commercial house, but it's a nice anthemic version of that genre that they put out, and I think it's the best produced one that they've had in this string of, I guess, singles that are probably going to go into an album. Up next, we've got Back to You by Adventure Club featuring Sara Diamond, and this song is a little interesting because Sara Diamond actually came out with Back to You originally back in 2017. It's a lot of backs. But Adventure Club, I guess, is just making their own remix / cover of it now, and it's credited strangely because it's featuring Sara Diamond and not like a remix, but whatever. This song is pretty nice old school dubstep, and if you're a fan of that kind of old genre, the early 2010s of the dubstep, EDM, brostep scene, you're going to like this track quite a bit. Next up is I Can't Wait, the Flaws cover, originally by DROELOE. And this song is a nice, more sentimental, emotional take on the original. It's, again, pretty short at just about 2.5 minutes. But, yeah, Flaws actually adds a lot more acoustics to this track while also keeping the kind of thematic elements that DROELOE has put in previously. And they're almost weird, experimentally little hit styles of, I guess, their future-based kind of trap feel. But, yeah, it's a nice cover. I think I like the original just a little bit more, but it's still, it's not bad. Up next is Why We Feel This Way by Kill Paris. And I do really like this song, but I can't help but feel like there's a grand narrative at play here. There's a greater story that's being told, and I can't really tell because the lyrics are pretty incoherent the entire time, and I'm kind of not really figuring out where exactly the song is trying to go narratively. But nonetheless, it's still a solid track with a great bass line, and I like it. We're now moving into the good listens category. We've got our last 3 tracks of the week. The ones that I found at least. And we're going to start off with Survive by Flux Pavilion and Feed Me featuring Meesh. Considering this is a collaboration between 2 really heavy producers, this song is really not that heavy at all. It's actually quite soft and light comparatively to what the 2 of them normally produce. And I actually really like that, and I think it's a good take for both of them. The swells used in this track added some nice needed depth, and even though I don't love Meesh's vocals, I do think it's a great track. Up next, we've got Bummed, the Manila Killa remix, originally by Chet Porter, featuring Alison Wonderland. Bit of a mouthful. The sound design for this track is a big selling point, as I think Manila Killa takes a lot of what Chet Porter originally put into the song and also added his own unique twist, and making it a little bit more experimentally and a little more, a little more EDM, I'd say, which kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, but in my opinion, this is a lot better than the original, and so if you liked the original and or like Chet Porter's stuff and or obviously Manila Killa, check this track out. And our final track and best track of the week is still just a good listen, no standouts this week, is Downfall, the direct remix, originally by Essenger featuring Lexi Norton. And like I talked about before, I love that this song is 6 minutes long. I love the length of it, that you get to really get a listening experience for it, and direct is perfect for this kind of style because you really get a sense of the atmosphere of the song much more than you would for just a 2.5 minute track. I may just be a sucker for Direct's liquid dub vibe and genre style, but I just love when he goes a little bit deeper and doesn't go to the more chill out. He gets to stay a little bit more on the heavier side, and this is a perfect example of that song. But I have been Bowtie Media. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on any artists that you want me to review or stuff to put in my list of people that I'm going to follow for the entire week, let me know. Leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in another video.